อะไรที่รู้งี้แล้วคือจะไม่ทำเลยถ้าอยากเก่งภาษาอังกฤษ
People ask me how to remember the vocabulary. I suggest you to remember the vocabulary though, but you should remember it as a picture. I don't want to blame the Thai teacher who teach English, but I will blame the system instead. People who trying to speak English, who speak Thai and English mixed together, they are just like so
กระแดะ
Yeah, so that. That's what people say to you when you're trying to speak English. When I first learned English, I don't really care much about accent. People ask me like, I have Thai accent. Like, how do you fix your accent? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like if you are still the beginner, you're still studying English for like 2 weeks or 1 month, you shouldn't care about accent that much. You should care about how you use English in your daily life. Then after that, you should be care about the accent. The accent shouldn't be something that you concern first when you studying English.
Hey guys, welcome to Tea Time Truth. So today we are going to spill the tea and tell the truth. So today we have a very interesting guest sitting next to me. She's actually one of my favorite students, and I'm very happy and honored to have her here with me today.
Who? Me. It's me, nsa mah, your lovely girl right here in KruPAnn podcast. ค่ะ Oh, it's nice to see you again.
It is. You know,
I
it's
miss
been such a
you.
long time
Yeah.
since the last time we met.
Yeah. We haven't seen each other for a while. This
Exactly.
is like first in the 3 months, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm so excited. I'm so thrilled.
I know.
It's so serious.
It is serious, and this is her first podcast. So
Yeah.
forgive her if she say anything wrong.
Yeah, you should forgive me now because I'm also just a beginner too. You know, we all beginner. If I say something not right, you tell me in the comment right now, okay? You know, I'm beginner like you, baby. Don't be hard on me, though.
Don't be so hard on yourself,
Yeah.
girl. All right. So we have a lot of questions here today to ask you, because we actually got a lot of questions from fans.
Okay,
Is that
so
correct?
let's get started.
Let's get started. What was the first video that made you go viral on the news?
Like the first video that I went viral, maybe it doesn't show up on TikTok right now already, because my old account got banned, right? Yeah. So the first video is I lip sync, but it's about like I miss my ex or something like that. You know what I mean? But I don't have ex at that time. It's just like POV. But yeah, I would say like the most viral one that people they know about me, they notice me, is the one that I said something about a man who asking me or like, can I flirt with you? Like or something like that. Like can I have your like number, your something like that? I cannot remember exactly, but yeah, he trying to flirt with me, but maybe he just kidding, you know what I mean? But I take it so serious, like not like serious like that, but I feel like okay, this is a good point for me to go viral. So that's why I just like reply back to that to that comment by the video, and it went viral. Maybe like right now I speak right in front of the ต้น palm, and in front of me right now is the แม่น้ำ Yeah, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that's the first video that went viral. Yeah.
Huh.
Went
Do you
viral.
still have that? Do you still have that video saved in your phone? We would love to see that.
I don't think I have it in my phone because like that's when I got banned, mommy. Yeah, and it delete all of my video, but I think I still can find it because like I save it on Facebook. Yeah, because there is like the news, they downloaded my video and they go represent it in their channel.
Do you think the main reason that you became so successful today, so popular, so famous, is because you started posting on TikTok?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
What make like at that time? What made you decide that you want to post something on TikTok? And like, what's the point of posting
What's
the
point
first
of
video
this?
on TikTok?
Of course, I have purpose. Of course, I have purpose
And what
on
is that?
I want to be famous. I want to be famous. Like, you know what? When I was 7, when I was 5, when I tell people around me, I want to be celebrity I want to be ดารา I want to be ดารามาก some people like they cheer me up of course you can do it but some people they came to me and said that don't dream too high don't dream too high look at yourself you live in like you wouldn't go to Bangkok blah 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 some people even said that you wouldn't graduate because you might
Run
flee
away
with
with
the boy
men.
yeah you might run away with men that's what they said like they said like I shouldn't I wouldn't graduate because I would run away with men
Why would someone say something like that?
I don't know why maybe they just hate me or they feel like American dream right so sometimes I don't know if it's a bad if it's a negative meaning or it's a positive meaning but sometimes when you tell people about your dream and they think like no you wouldn't like conquer it you wouldn't like overcome you wouldn't achieve it they will feel like don't dream too high so that's why they will tell you something they will say bad thing to you to make you feel bad to drag you down so don't fall for that don't fall for that if they underestimate your capability show them that you can make your life better
Exactly. Show them
Yeah.
that you can do it.
show them that you can do it
Mm.
and yeah go back to when that but once when I made it like oh my gosh when I see those followers keep coming up the number boop, 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 I really proud of myself like I don't know how much I was so delighted at that time like but I was speechless when I see the video viral you know what I mean
How did you feel when you first got on the news?
I'm afraid a little bit because I know now that if I do something wrong, it's gonna go bad. Maybe I'm not a good person. I say this. Sometimes people made mistake, and I also made it once, twice, 1,000 times, multiple times, and I feel like okay, what if people just like bring back those things against me? That's what I feel because happen all the time with famous people on TikTok. You can see, but it's I think it's not my turn yet.
Don't make it
Yeah.
your turn anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Won't. That won't happen because I pretty be careful about that. I watch out about that all the time. The drama, like, and also if I have a drama, it would be something about like อารมณ์ชั่ววูบ
What do you mean, Amchowu?
Because sometimes, when we mad or when we frustrate, we say mean thing. And it might happen like that with me too. Because like if people bring back about my old story,
Mm.
I know I made mistake one and I regret it, I regret it. There is one time when I was like became famous a little bit. There is one of my I wouldn't say enemy, but she was mad at me once because I did something to her. And I feel like at that time I was really bad. So that's why I text her and said that I was so sorry. I am so sorry. At the time I was so young. That's why I did it to you, blah blah blah. But it's not like a bully though. It's not like bully, but I was disrespect her because my friend told me that. My friend told me I was mad because she did something to my friends, but I just แบบตามเพื่อนอะตามเพื่อนไปแบบ I see my friend hate this girl so that's why I hate this girl too you know what I mean and yeah I disrespect her parents blah 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 yeah and I didn't say apologize at that time I didn't apologize to her but now I feel bad not because I feel like she's gonna like bring this story up against me I don't feel like that but I feel like I want to say sorry because at that time I really made mistake
And you did say sorry
I follow
to her.
my friends, I follow my friends because like when we a teenager, friend is just like really big society. Yeah, we listen to our friends sometimes more than our parents.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a very interesting question. Why did you choose to make English videos with that southern accent of yours?
When I made Thai content, everything about Thai, the subtitle about Thai, yeah, it went viral, but I want to feel unique. Cause like now, if you want to become a TikToker, you gotta find something in yourself differently from other people. So that's what I find in myself. I feel like I have like a funny part in myself. That's what if you ask me to define myself into 3 words, I would say like funny, beautiful, and kind. That was 3 words about me. So funny is a part of that. And I feel like, yeah, I always be the person who entertain all of my friends, you know. If we have a party, I will be the person who's like, yeah, let's go, baby. I will be that person. So I feel like I can make people happy. So that's why I started to do English content, because I feel like nobody did that at that time. I don't know if they did it, if I have like another person of me doing this kind of content, because now I don't really speak English that much, mom, I gotta admit it. But I feel like I want to go back to that era again. What I mean by go back to that era, it means that I want to like post more about my English content. Sometimes maybe it's not gonna be like funny like before, because you know I've changed too. It depends on my mood, like what content I want to post, and I want my fan to, you know, I want my fan to accept my personality too, because at that time I was that person, but now I've changed. You know what I mean? Maybe it's about podcasts like this. Maybe it's be funny like before. Maybe it's about lifestyle. Maybe it's about vlog. It depends on me. You know what I mean? But if you ask me at that time why I start post in English, because I feel like I want to be famous celebrity. And I feel like deep down in my heart, I don't know what keep telling me. My heart keep telling me that if you do this, you can achieve your dream.
When you're trying to learn languages, you don't have to care that much about the accent or the pronunciation. You know, it sounds so much fun. Is that the reason why you've got so much better at speaking English so quick? Because you don't really care
About the accent?
about the accent or about the rules.
About the rules. Yeah, I think it's true. Because like when I first studying English, when I first learned English, I don't really care much about accent. Like people came to us together. Like every time when we live stream, people ask me like, you know, I have Thai accent. Like, how do you fix your accent? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like if you are still the beginner, you're still studying English for like 2 weeks or 1 month, you shouldn't care about accent that much. Because like you should care about how you use English in your daily life. You know, even though I speak English like, okay, I will drink water. Thank you so much. But we still understand each other. You know, the accent, you should be developing them after you can communicate with people, you know, after you can understand your interviewer, like after you can speak with people around you, then after that you should be care about the accent. The accent shouldn't be the accent shouldn't be something that you concern first when you studying English. Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what accent you have because, you know, in this world, there are more than 2 accents. Like people would think that there are only 2 accents in the world. British accent and American accent. And
One
that's
accent that
not
I
true.
really like is, can you guess?
Adele accent.
No, because I cannot understand anything with Adele accent. I love Indian accent. I love Indian accent.
Can you
so
try
much.
can you try
I
it?
cannot die. It's hard for me to copy Indian accent. But you know, I there is one when I live again. When I was live again, people ask me that she's been on Omegle, but then she met a lot of Indian guy, and she said like she want to skip when she see those Indian guy, you know, blah blah blah. And what I tell her is, you know what? Indian guy is really fun to talk to. It's really nice to talk to. When I was on Omegle 24/7, I had a conversation with one Indian guy for like 2 hours.
2 hours?
For like 2 hours because he was so nice to me, but he don't speak, don't say anything about like those things, you know, about like obstacles.
Sexual,
yeah,
yeah,
like sexual. He don't say anything. He just want to be friends. And we still keep contact right now, but not like contact because he still has his own life too. But at that time, I gotta like thanks him so much because he was the one who practicing English with me for like 2 hours. You know, when you've been on Omegle and those white guy, I don't want to like be specific, but some people when they see you cannot speak English, they want to skip you because they have a choice. They have a choice that maybe they can talk with someone that can speak English fluently. But when you meet someone on Omegle, that they feel nice to talk to you. They feel like satisfied. They feel comfortable. They feel comfortable talking to you. You should keep talking to that person because you cannot find that often. You cannot find that happen often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got skipped all the time.
Yeah, you got skipped all the time.
Just
but
the way I look.
yeah, just the
from
way
the
I
way
look.
I look.
Yeah, just from the way that I look. And for one thing that I kind of feel like Indian guy don't really skip you. I don't know why, but I don't really got skipped it by Indian guy that much. It's usually be like Australian, American, Canada is always be like that. But Indian guy always nice to me. So that's why I feel like this race, can we say this? Indian race, not like that, but like Indian, when you met Indian people, they are nice and they like friendly. So you should like keep talking with them because that's the one, that's your teacher. Yeah. And also like thanks to you, mom, you like my teacher because like you always see me on TikTok with her all the time, right? I'm not gonna lie though, when I first like practicing my English, I watch a lot of her content and I still save it nowadays. You remember when I show you that, when I send you the picture that I saved your video from like very, very old time? I gotta say that she is one. She's like one of my favorite teacher. But right now she's the most favorite though. Right now she's the most favorite though. But before I always follow a lot of teacher, but I feel like the reason I study with her or I showing up on her content a lot because I like her humor. I like when we being around to each other too. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like we have the
And-
same chemistry.
Yeah, we have same chemistry, and I also got a lot of tips from you too. Maybe like you teach me about this vocabulary, what it means, blah blah blah. It's nice to have teacher around you. You know what I mean? If I don't understand something about English, I can ask her like directly. Yeah, and it's feel nice. I got a lot of tips from her, and I got a lot of information, knowledge from her.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too sweet.
Thanks.
I've got nothing for you in return for complimenting me.
Oh, knowledge is valuable. That's what I got from you.
อะไรที่รู้งี้แล้วคือจะไม่ทำเลยถ้าอยากเก่งภาษาอังกฤษ
People ask me like how to remember the vocabulary. I suggest you to remember the vocabulary though, but you should remember it as a picture of the vocabulary. My friends once when they asked me how I remember the vocabulary, I told them that I watch movie. I don't really like to watch movies, but the reason why I decided to watch movie because it's the way to improving my English. I watch movie and every time when I see the vocabulary that I don't get it, I don't know what it means. I always write it down on my books. When I write it down on my books, I will remember that this vocabulary came from this movie. For example, water. Can you give me water in the movie? If they say, can you give me a water? And then the actor gives someone something. I know what give means, but when they bring the water to the table, I know that this is water, but I don't even have to know like water is water. You know what I mean? I just remember by the action of the actors of the movie that they play in the show. So if you ask me, when you want to remember vocabulary, if you just remember like I did in TOEIC, that will be just a short memory. But it wouldn't be a long-term memory, not at all. You will forget after that maybe 10 days. But it's good though, if you have limited time to remember something, of course, you can recite the vocabulary over and over again. But I don't want you to do that for all of the vocabulary that you learn every day because you will forget. You know what I mean? You should remember the vocabulary by the picture of them, by the action of that word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I would suggest to anyone. I know you expect me to say something like, don't care about what people saying about you, but no, this time I will say something like a fact, like a fact.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't have to translate the word in Thai first, and that would really help you when you're trying to speak English. You don't have to translate in Thai in your head because you remember the words from the pictures or the actions, not in Thai meaning.
Yeah. I get a lot from that kind of process to remember vocabulary. I watched one of the Ryan Reynolds movie and he said like accelerate. I don't even know what accelerate mean, but I remember by his action that he and then the car just go fast. So I know what does accelerate mean by not knowing the Thai
meaning.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's going to be a very long-term memory
Yeah,
because
it's
you know
long-term memory because like I watched that movie like 2 years ago and nowadays I still remember what accelerate means. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's really good for you. Don't remember. If you have limited time, yeah, of course, go recite the vocabulary, remember them. But if you feel like you want the vocabulary to stick to your head forever, That's what you should do. Remember by the picture or by the action.
And that's how babies learn languages.
Yeah, and I try to learn like a baby too. Cause like in Thai, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say about this. Cause sometimes I don't know if I understand the Thai education or not. But I feel I feel the teacher, you know. Cause like when you teach in the Thai school, of course, I would say like you be in the school for like 8 hours per day, right? 7 hours of the kid they speak Thai, of course. They speak Thai 7 hours, and then they need to switch to speak English with the teacher for like 1 hour. It's hard for them. I don't want to blame the Thai teacher who teach English, but I will blame the system instead, you know, because we don't really normalize how people should learn English. You know what I mean? They don't really normalize that before, but nowadays people always sharing each other like you should learn English, you should study English because it's really important. It will bring a better opportunity to your life. Now people normalize it, but before, people who trying to speak English, who speak Thai and English mixed together, they are just like so wannabe.
So kระแดะ.
Yeah, so that. That's what people say to you when you're trying to speak English at those times. But now people accept each other. People be more open to each other. So that's why I think that now we have more people that can speak English. Because before we have just like little people in Thai who can speak English, but now like people who's like around me in my life right now, they can speak English. Like don't need to be like fluently, but don't need to be perfect, but I can understand them. So I think that's good for Thai people nowadays.
ภาษาอังกฤษสำเนียงใต้ของเราเนี่ยมันพาเรามาถึงจุดนี้ได้ยังไงพาโอกาสมาให้ชีวิตเราได้มากแค่ไหน
I would say that it bring me a lot of opportunity. My life was like this, and then it's turned into this. It's just like valuable opportunity in my life. I would say priceless opportunity, cause you know I have my own business now. From the money that I got from TikTok. What I mean got from TikTok, it means sponsor though. TikTok doesn't pay me for making a video, but I got the money from sponsor. Yeah, they literally paid me a lot. And I feel like, you know, TikTok changed my life. If someone who watching my podcast right now, you feel like you want to do something better in your life, I think TikTok is one of the options too. If you like to talk to the camera, if you feel like you like to be the famous celebrity, of course, TikTok can provide you that. And also, yeah, I got the connection to like, for example, you, and I meet a lot of like famous YouTuber. I work with for example, I can't really think of, but like so many TikToker that they are famous right now, and I feel like it is bring me a lot of connection, and you know connection is great because you wouldn't survive in this world without connections.
So what if I'm shy? What if I'm a very shy person, but I want to be making money out of TikTok?
If you're shy, it's hard. I would say it's hard because you need to communicate alone sometimes. You need to talk with the camera all the time and you film yourself. So don't be shy if you feel like you want to make money off it. So shouldn't be shy, and also shouldn't hesitate to do it. If you feel like your heart tell you like, okay, I want to be a TikToker, just do it. It doesn't have to be like, okay, I tell you to make a funny TikTok or maybe like that, right? Because that what gain you the most on TikTok. Entertainment, you know what I mean? But if you feel like I'm not really good at entertaining people, you can change into other topic, maybe some kind of like self-improvement, something like that. It can be anything that makes other people's lives better.
Is it important to have good mentality if you're an influencer?
Of course, yeah. You need to have good mentality, and you always need to understand your emotion too. Because like if you too sensitive for everything, you know, that will make you
Believe in everything that people are saying about you.
Yeah.
Once you're weak,
And once
anything
you
can
weak,
hurt you.
you can be weak, but not all the time, because people will use your weakness against you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're asking me being an influencer, you should have a good mentality or not? Of course, yeah, being any career should have good mentality.
When did it happen? What makes you have that kind of, bad mentality?
When I feel like I'm lost. When I feel like I'm really lost and I don't want to admit it, that I'm lost. okay, let's just say that when I'm lost, like when I'm lost, I feel like because I'm lost, so that's why I don't know like what to go, where to go, what I should do. So when I see the bad comment, it just keep reminding me that I'm fail. You know what I mean? For example, like if they tell me my accent is bad, why you gotta speak English, why you gotta be loud all the time, I feel like it hit the point of myself for somehow. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like I don't have a good mentality or have a good mental health. When I get bad comment, I feel disappointed in myself all the time.
So what do you usually do to remain healthy, both inside out?
Hard to say, but I think what helped me the most is I think I write down the diary all like every day.
You
I
do
write,
that?
Yeah, I write the diary every day. But now not really every day, but I try to be every day because I want to stay consistent. But before, what helped me the most is I talk to myself. I try to understand every move of myself, like how I feel right now. I try to understand myself, you know what I mean? Always observe your emotion. That's what I do. And it made me feel better at that time. And also nowadays too. Because like I always realize myself that, okay, this is really bad. When I envy people, then I feel like you can have this emotion, but you need to accept it that you envy this person. But don't do anything that will make you evil more. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Don't let it hurt you. Like you can be jealous from seeing other people being successful or having something that you don't, but don't let that hurt you.
Yeah.
Let that be inspiration.
Yeah, let that be inspiration. For example, like I saw one of the quote, they say that when you see people successful, you should be proud. You should be glad that they are success, because like if you don't feel glad for other people's success, you wouldn't have that feeling. Because you wouldn't have that feeling in the future. You wouldn't be success if you don't glad of other people's success. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about this?
So you should be happy with other people's success in order to be that person one day.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But I do agree with that.
Yeah. Because like, envy doesn't change anything. If you hate them because they are success, it doesn't help anything. It makes you become loser too. Yeah.
Because I've heard that once you feel bad for seeing people being successful, it means that you don't love your life at all. You hate yourself. You hate yourself so much that once you see people being happy, you don't feel good for them.
Yeah. I agree.
It all starts from you.
Yeah, it's all start from you. You are the one who control your mindset.
So, I think you probably have heard about this sentence where it's that if you're good looking, the world would treat you better.
I don't really want to say this, but it's fact. Like, if I say this, like, yes, it will hurt people who doesn't have like good looking. But I feel like, yeah, it's true, baby. It's hard thing to accept. It's a difficult thing that we need to accept, but it's true. It's fact. It's from my opinion though. It's from my experience too. Like before, when I live in my hometown, I don't have money. Like if you are my fan and you see me in the past 2 years, you will see like the developing in myself. Before, I'm just a girl living in small province. I live in Chumphon, right? And I don't really have money to like buy clothes or anything. So that's why I don't really like, people judge me a little bit because they see me don't have a really good looking. Yeah, I tell you that I get like I shower, I blah blah blah, but sometimes I don't have money to dress. So that's why I feel people judge me, cuz when I was in high school, I don't think no one have a crush on me. Yeah, they just like they think that I'm maybe they think like I'm not a normal person or something.
What
like,
do you mean by not a normal person?
they think I'm retarded, mom. They think I'm retarded or something like that. But once everything is all cringe before I made it to a TikToker, when I made a video, people just like, you're so cringe, blah blah blah. But once when I made it already, they ask me how you gain a lot of view, how you become a TikToker. They will ask you, but before it's all cringe. So if you ask me like, if we are good looking, the world will treat us better. Because like after I became a TikToker, I learned how to dress. I learned how to treat myself right. And I feel like I'm a whole different person from before. And yeah, people started to treat me nicely because of course they know that I'm a TikToker. One is fact. And the second, because I respect myself. I don't go out and like dress like a homeless. Yeah, sometimes it depends on my mood. But if I need to go to the place that they have a dress required, they have a dress code, of course I always dress nice because, you know, if people see me and I don't respect the place, if I don't respect the people around me that I'm going to see them, they will feel like they won't respect me too because I didn't respect myself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Starting from respecting yourself first before expecting people to respect you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course. So, you know, I don't want to admit it, but it's true, you know. The world will treat you better if you look nice. If you have a good looking too.
Sad but true.
Yeah, sad but true.
And you actually mentioned that before you become a very successful TikToker once you
Oh my
made
God,
a
when you
video.
say a very successful...
You are a very successful influencer.
Okay, thanks.
So before you made it to this point, you actually mentioned that you got a lot of comments where people would say that you look cringe or you're acting weird or whatever when you try to make videos.
Yeah.
So how did you how did you deal with that? How did you overcome those kind of comments and continue working until you become very successful?
Like I always told you all the time, baby, I don't care. Cause like before I had goal, and right now I also have another goal too. But at that time I have goal, and I feel like I wanna succeed. I get bad comment like, why you need to shout all the time? Why you need to being so loud every time you post the video or when you film? But you know, it's myself, and I did that on purpose. I know that I'm different, so that's why I gotta bring out that personality that's unique, is differently from anyone else. I feel like, yeah, when you're trying to do something, people will think that you are cringe. But once when you made it, when you literally make it, when you success, people will ask, how did you do that? How did you become? How did you became to this point? Blah blah blah. They will ask you questions, but before they will underestimate your capability. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like when you're trying to, learn or speak English and then you're not that good at that time, people would start judging you or commenting that your accent is weird or you're using the wrong grammar. But once you made it, then people would start asking, like, how did you do that? How did you learn English to be this good?
Yeah, they will ask you that. I mean, I don't really get bad comment about my English, but I will get a lot of bad comment about my appearance, my personality. They don't really like, oh, you don't speak English, you speak English not that good. Why you gotta make a video about English, blah blah blah. I don't really get that, because if I get that comment, my FC, my fan, they will just like, defend me. They will just like, you have no right to talk to other person like this. I love my fan. Yeah, they always protect me. Yeah, prevent me from those bad comments, and I like it. So I would say like bad comment from my experience all the time is always about my looks. Even though, for example, though, I have a good looking boyfriend, and sometimes even there is one. I was live stream on my TikTok account, and then there is anonymous account. They came and they just like, not like he came and then he asked that, why you chose this girl, blah blah blah. She's not like, you look so handsome, why you chose this girl, blah blah blah, asking me this kind of question. And I'm like, bro, like sometimes it's just not about looks. It's just not about like, okay, I'm not good the beauty standard, but I also like, I'm beautiful from inside and also outside. That's why he shows me. People are so upset with the appearance. Sometimes it make them overlook your moral, your value, your deep down value. They just care about appearance, and that bad. I get that a lot, but I feel like I choose to I choose to overlook those things because it doesn't make me feel happy. So that's why I upset with those things. So I feel just like get over it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And don't you think that it's very insulting for someone like that to speak to, a woman in a very bad way, comparing her look to, her good-looking boyfriend? Why are they trying to, step down on women in the society? Do you feel insulted by those kind of comments? And do you think that, these kind of comments actually represent how there is no equality between women and men?
If you ask me if I feel insulted, of course I feel insulted. But I shouldn't like stick to those things like for a very long time because it will make myself become evil or become bad like they are. But if you ask me about the equality between women and men, I don't think there is like equality in men and women because our body is already different. I don't know why, but I feel like if we're asking for men and women equality, I don't think it's gonna be possible. Cause like if you're asking for equal, then we gotta have the same thing for everything. Women gotta have like minimum wage like men get. Women shouldn't be the one who pregnant. Men also need to be the one who pregnant too. If we asking about equality, but the nature of gender is made like that. God or whatever created, science created, it created us like that. It divide us to two gender. So I don't think it's gonna be equal between men and women. But we shouldn't disrespect other gender like those people do it to me, those men do it to me. It shouldn't be like that. What we need to do is respect each other.
I like the point when you actually said that there's actually no equality between men and women.
Yeah. I think it's hard to make it equal. If you asking for equal, it's gotta be the same everything. Like the same everything means that okay, men gotta pregnant like we do, men gotta have period, and we also need to have like minimum wage like men do have, cause like in some company, that's what I have heard. Men, they gain more than you do. In my opinion, yeah, it can't be possible. But yeah, what we should do is respect each other.
But some women, they actually respect men to pay for everything.
Oh my gosh, I like this topic. Mom, I like this topic. Let's do it.
Like, okay, you're a man. You're supposed to be paying for everything. Pay for my shopping, pay for my bills, pay for my bags. But, we are equal.
What I think about that opinion, I think it depends on the relationship. I'm a person who think that if I show this to you guys, you might think that I'm a gold digger. But, it's just my type. I love a provider man. I love a provider man. I love my man to pay for everything. But it doesn't have to be that I'm a gold digger. You know what I mean? Because like, okay, if you are in the point that you are developing yourself, you're trying to be better, you're trying to become success. For example, in my relationship right now, my man doesn't pay the whole bill of me, He doesn't have to pay like, if I want to go eat this, is that he pay for everything. Not like that. We still like split the bill, because I understand that my man, he is developing himself. He's like building his own career. He building his future and he has me in his future. So that's why I understand. I'm not like drag him down from that. But if you have a preference in men, like your man gotta pay everything, pay your bill, blah, blah, blah. I respect that though, because that is your type. But you gotta think about what you bring into the table too. You know what I mean? What do you have for your man? You must have things that you think like, okay, you the one for him. You know what I mean? But I respect that, I really respect that. I don't judge you if you like expect your man to pay for everything, It's your opinion. It's good for you too. It's good for women to have like a high standard in men. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay, so this is very controversial, but I would like to bring it out. For some women, they actually said that, you got to have sex with me. So by paying for everything, you get sex in return.
It's hard to say in English too. but I feel like that's a little bit weird. That's like weird because you think like you have sex in return for men to pay your bill. I feel a little bit like awkward. Like, is he only good for you like that? Like, is he really worth something like that? You know, you just get sex and you valuing yourself just like those things that he paid for you. For me, love relationship, love is just makes me feel happy. Love doesn't have to be like, you know, it's not just something about all of the money. You get that, right? Yeah, people say that sometimes. People say that, okay, love is about money too, but it's not every part of love, you know what I mean? Sometimes love is because that person make you happy. I don't like when we play the psycho games with your partner. Like, you shouldn't text him that much, or you shouldn't worry about him that much. Yeah, it has boundary for doing that. You shouldn't cross the line, blah blah blah. But sometimes if you still need to playing games when you're with your partner, you play the games all the time. I feel like it's exhausted. You know, you should be with someone that you can be yourself and you can relax around them. You can turn off your brain. You don't have to think about like, okay, he make this move, what should I do next? It shouldn't be about that. Love shouldn't be about the cycle games. You know what I mean? This is my opinion though.
I like it when you say that you can shut out your brain once you're with your partner, because you know you're not playing anything with them. You can just be yourself. You can be stupid, you can be silly.
Like, it depends on the woman, but right now it's a topic that women all the world are talking about. This, like, if you with your partner, you should playing games or not. A little bit of games would be fine, but if too much games, it's gonna be toxic.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was one of your videos where you said that if the man doesn't pay for the first date, then you're not gonna keep going out with him. You know, it's over.
I get a lot of bad comment about that.
So why did you say that? Oh,
why did I say that? Because it's just my type. You know, it's just the same with when I say I love handsome man. It's just the same when I say that I love someone who's loyal. It's preference. It's something that I love. What if I say that I love a man who's the shoe size not like 45 or something like that? It's also a type too. Or maybe like I love bald guy. It's also my type too. You know what I mean? And when I say that I love my man, I would there is a second date, of course, if you pay for my first meal. But maybe the second date, I will pay for the food too, you know? It's like that. But when people see me only speaking about the first date, right? They judge me that I'm a gold digger. Why? You go for free food, blah, blah, blah. I don't go for free food. But I feel like if I want to go out with someone, or if I want to be in a relationship with someone, the first date is really important. And I feel like, of course, it's one of my type too for me and for my man to pay for my first date food. You know what I mean?
so why does it have to be for the first date? Why the first date?
I don't know why. It must for me. It's a must for me for the first date. But second date, you know, I will feel like I don't want to bother him that much. I feel like, okay, for second date, let me pay back, you know. Because the reason why I feel like I will pay back on the second date, because I don't want him to feel like I'm a gold digger, or maybe just go for a date with him because just food, you know what I mean? But the reason why it has to be first date, I got no reason.
Just the
I just feel like
preference.
just my preference, just my type.
So what are the kind of bad comments that you were getting?
Oh, most of the thing they say like I'm a gold digger. I would say yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. I'm a gold digger. What you gonna say about it? Like, you know.
No, you're not a gold digger. It was just for the first date.
Yeah, it was just for the first date and people judge me, but I understand that because they only see the video for like 30 seconds and then they judge me, you know. When they say that I'm a gold digger, I don't feel bad about anything because I feel like it's true. And I love money, but we all love money. But it doesn't have to be like I expect my man to pay for everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, if he can do that, of course, baby. That's nice. That's lovely for you. If he can do that, of course. But I gotta get him something in return because, you know, we shouldn't be the taker only. We should be the giver too. Because like, even though like my man don't expect anything from me, But I feel like when I see him, how he treat me right, I feel like I want to give something for him in return because he treat me right, he treat me nicely. Yeah, just that.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Do you expect a man to pay for the first date?
Well, it's actually different for me.
Uh-huh.
For the first date, I would split the bill.
You would split the bill?
Because
Mom,
I
you're
want
so
the man.
cute.
Well, I want a man to know that I'm not like trying to get anything from him, and supposedly we're not gonna continue seeing each other. You know, he's not gonna be talking shit about me behind my back. That you know what, I actually treat this girl a nice dinner, and then she bailed on me, and then she just dumped me after the first date, and I paid for everything. So I just want to make sure that he doesn't.
I
get a
understand you.
chance to
I
talk
get
shit
you
about.
because like everyone have their own type, have their own preference. That's what my mom think. Like she doesn't want that man to talk shit behind her back. But me, I feel like if you talk shit behind my back,
It's so sad how gold digger, the term, is supposed to be used with women only. You don't really use the word gold digger with men at all.
I think they call a man a pimp.
A pimp,
Yeah, a pimp.
kind of like a loser.
Kind of like a loser. Yeah, but we don't use gold digger from men. But I feel like if I say that, yeah, my best friend has a pimp or something like that, we get each other. We understand each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, we don't call men like a gold digger because we have other term from men to call someone who be with a woman for money. You know what I mean? And I don't judge a man who be a woman for money too, because if you be in a relationship with someone, that means you have the agreement to each other that you feel fine for doing this, for doing that. And I always tell Hash, this is what I tell my man. It might feel a little bit like bad for me for 20 years old girl to talk about relationship, but yeah, I just want to speak from my experience. I just want to tell you, maybe we in the same era, we in our 20s together, but like I tell my man that okay, this is my dream. My dream is, if you have enough money, I want you to take care of the bill. But if you feel like you're still building your career, I understand. I get it. You know, right now, like I told you before, he's not paying for everything. I pay too, because I understand that he's building our future, not just his future. You know what I mean? That's what I do. So he get it. And what my man say back is, he said like, I won't say anything much, but I will show you. That's what he said. You know what I mean? So my man okay with me and me okay with my man. And that's all in the relationship. You can't judge me that, okay, men might don't like you because you are gold digger, because you have this kind of mindset. My man okay with me. What you gonna say about it? Okay, so it's just like partner. You should ask each other. You shouldn't like judge anyone in their relationship, because you know it depends. Like if they satisfy from that relationship, of course they can be together. It depends on couple. Yeah, it depends on the couple. Yeah.
The preference, the agreement that they have.
Each
other.
Yeah. So I don't judge anyone. You know what I mean? I don't judge anyone. So you shouldn't judge me too. Because maybe it's just think of it as like a different aspect of couple. Yeah, you know what I mean? I tell you because maybe you are my girlfriend, or you are my girl best friend or something like that. You are my like one of my gang too. So we just tell each other about our relationship. You know what I mean? But don't judge
Relationship.
me. Yeah.
Advice.
Yeah, like advice. But don't take that serious that much though. Because like if you have a boyfriend and then I tell you that, yeah, that's what my man okay with me, that I have this dream. You shouldn't go to your boyfriend and then like, you gotta do this for me. I expect you to pay every bill like Noon's boyfriend do. No, it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? You shouldn't compare your partner to with someone else.
So you actually, like we used to talk about how you were once not very happy with your relationship because you couldn't stop comparing your man with, you know, someone else.
Yeah, so to someone else. But, you know, I realized that my life keep growing a lot after I met him, you know, so that's why I realized that I have valuable things in my life, but I don't see how valuable it is. And I feel like this not good. This not good. It's bad mentality. I need to change it. I need to fix it. And when I look at other aspect, I look in other perspective, I really value him. I feel like, okay, this is what I have and I'm happy with it. In the past that I compare him with other people, it's really bad because I'm not proud of what I have. You know what I mean? And I even tell him about it though.
And what does he say?
He just listen. Has such a good listener. I don't know why, but like he listen. He listen and maybe he feel a little bit noisy. I don't know. But what he said it, I love when you open your heart with me about this. And I said sorry. I said sorry. Now I know that. Babe, you are so valuable to me. Yeah. And that just never happened again. And I wouldn't let that happen again because I don't want my man to feel disappointed. You know what I mean? And yeah, he said like, I get you. Sometimes that can happen too because maybe he's been into a relationship before, but me, he is my first relationship. So I don't get the feeling that I had at that moment. And I tell him, he didn't say that he had that feeling, but maybe he gets something from his experience, Maybe his friend told him once that, yeah, I used to compare my girl to ex, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of had that kind of experience. So that's why he get it. Yeah, he might feel bad, feel sad. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you guys understand each other now, so there's nothing to worry about.
We good. Even though I don't post anything that much together, but like we good.